broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin.
It's not going away.
What do you do when you come out
I want to follow. Lately, I've been message in a bottle.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to AfterBuzzTV.com. Welcome to Undateable Live's after show.
You can thank me now.
My name is Joe. The voice that you're hearing, that's our extra special guests over in the corner. We got
You can thank me now.
David Fynn, and we got
Brent
Morin.
Yeah, my legs on fire.
He's already spilled coffee on himself.
Yo, I'm not good at drinking coffee.
You guys,
It burns my lips.
it's a party here at the AfterBuzzTV.com studios. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies, go ahead and introduce yourselves once again.
Hey guys, I'm Sam Davidson, and you guys can tweet me during the show at SamD43, and I'm on the live chat. So chat us and ask all of us, including a very special guest, questions.
And you can thank me now.
Thank you.
See how well it works for an intro to a show?
Yes, thank you.
It's perfect. It's a lot
Great.
of confidence. Hi.
Hey, and I'm Hannah Pritchard. You guys can tweet at me at the Hotshot Dude, and you guys can probably stick your head in that camera at any time and just like make
I'm
faces
too scared
at
to
us.
tip in this chair because I'm on a little
Great.
bit of a ledge.
You can pick both of our noses if you'd like during.
And we got Fiona over in the corner.
Yeah.
Fiona, how you doing, girl?
I'm good, thank you. You can find me on Twitter at Fiona Zaring and on Instagram at Fiona Zaring as well.
Awesome. Well, guys, welcome back. We're doing our second episode of Undateable Live, but it's episode 3. We're talking about a rock and a hard place, walk into a bar, and we were gonna, chat about the whole story of the show. But we got the stars here. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. Let's talk to you guys.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Did it.
So, David, welcome aboard.
Hi.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So
That's what they say on these things, isn't it? Thanks for having me.
It sounds so polite coming from you with your accent.
And also sitting next to this fool is...
Makes you look very good.
I got that panicky natural voice. Come over. And he's just like, come over. That's my British accent, by the way.
That was perfect.
You're so look what you're doing with your nails. You're so proper.
and they look properly coiffed. They look nice and
I did.
You're
I
just
buy
so
the
look
shot.
at the
Okay.
watch. Killing it.
That was a 30th birthday present from my lovely wife, actually.
Nice.
30th.
La la.
Yeah.
30th birthday present. You know what I got? I got a mini golf coupon.
And I got
I'm
the
American.
And we got a live Undateable this season.
Oh yeah.
What's the let's just jump right into what's the biggest difference besides from being, obviously live, but what's the difference on doing a live show with the preparation, the actual filming?
Honestly, the prep is a lot more, but the experience is a lot more fun. And I can speak for me as a comedian and doing live shows every single night. It's so much fun. But also David is a theater actor, a professional actor, and we're just a bunch of clowns surrounded by professional actors like him. It's the same joy. It's the same rush because it's one take, you go, that's it, here it happens. If you break, that's on camera.
But you can't kind of overthink it too much because
Yeah.
you think, just the other side of those cameras is 3 million people or however many
everybody.
million.
You can't do that. If you do that, you're gonna want to kill yourself because you'd be so depressed.
If you try and think how many people that is, that's like 50 football stadiums or something ridiculous like that.
That's insane.
So you can't.
I actually never thought about that until he just said that right now, and so now that's all I'm going to think about the rest of the
Nerves
season.
are bubbling up.
But it's a definite fun thing. When you do theater, or if you do stand-up, you're used to falling on your face and finding a way out of it. So I think we're lucky with our cast. I think there's not a better show for this to happen because you don't want a perfect cast of season 6 Friends to do this. You want imperfection mixed with improvising, mixed with people that actually care about each other. Like, we all care about each other so much. So, like, if we mess up, we care about each other so much that we want one of us to mess up. We want one of us to mess up, though, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if he messes up, it's so funny to me because I'm his friend, and I'm like, you're messing up.
During the dress rehearsal this week, there was about 300 people in the studio. Just that we had an audience, and I messed up a line, and he wasn't even in the scene, and I just heard from backstage. Just him laughing at me because he loves it so much when I mess up.
They gave him a line. We did a dress rehearsal on Thursday before we did the live taping.
Oh, Jesus.
And he goes, "How do I make this funny?" during rehearsal. And I'm looking at it, I go,
it was a tricky line.
It was very tricky, complex line. And
it was like 3 layers of imagery. By the time you get to the gag, it's like, what are we talking about?
And I'm trying to figure out a way to help. And that's what we do on our show too. Is like, I'll go to him, or we go to Chris, or we go to Ron, and be like, what do you think would be funny? Or if him or Ron or Chris has something for me, or vice versa, we do that. We'll be like, it'd be funny if you did it this way, if you do that, or maybe you do this way. This particular line, he's like, what do I do? And I was like, I couldn't figure it out. Yeah. And on the rehearsal night, on an audience that was, I'm sorry, if you're listening and you're that audience, you're the worst fucking audience. Hands down, go fuck yourself. No, for real. You suck. You don't like life. You're the worst people ever. And I hope that you all get a little bit of an accident. Don't die, but have to live with problems.
To be fair to that audience, they were asked, how many of you have seen Undateable? And there was about 300 of them there, and 9 people put that.
9 people there.
No.
Yeah, but just enjoy the moment. But as comedians, we love pain. I think that's what I've learned. Like, so I've never had a better experience in a tape night. I've never been happier, and it was the worst I've ever been. It was so funny. It was just so funny. But he does this line. He delivers it, and he's holding an ice cream cone, because I like an ice cream cone dropped in the episode or whatever, and he decided, I'm going to pick that up. It's going to help the bit.
Which was hilarious. Yeah. That was hilarious.
But the line that they cut, I'll never forget this. He does it in the dress rehearsal, and he's like, da-da-da-da-da.
Crickets.
And then nothing. But the whole rehearsal week, he's like, this is not going to get anything. But he gave everything to it. Like, there was no better way to deliver this line than he did. He just was like, fuck it, I'm going for it. This is going to be the best way to deliver this particular line. And it didn't work. But as he walks by me, because he leaves the frame, he says, under his breath, I'm the only one who hears it. He goes, fucking hell. And I was like, you just see all the frustration of effort. He probably sat at home looking in the mirror going, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, for the line. And it was just like, he gave everything, and every frustration, all the theater training he had, everything, just walking by, holding an ice cream cone going, fucking hell. And so I'm already laughing. I'm crying laughing, and nobody knows why, and I have to deliver the next line. It's only because I know, we all knew it would bomb. All the comics laughed. We were all laughing. And nobody knew why we were laughing, but it was like, because you just bombed. It's the funniest when you bomb.
It was about 2/3 of the way into the episode, by which point we knew that, like, we're getting nothing from this audience. Yeah. Like, we're getting nothing. So that just made it even funnier and more pathetic. And the finale at the end, when we all go up the steps and sing, those summer nights, tell me more.
He even did it better.
Tell me more. And we do this big, and it's just...
Oh. Well, what happened is,
I'm not kidding, because
David looks at me and he goes, well, David thinks, okay, well, the only thing that will get us out of this is this closing number. And it's supposed to be me singing this song, and I've never done theater before. And they make me sing all these songs that I barely know.
Yeah.
Which are the most
David is trying to help me.
The most well-known musical songs of all time, by the way.
Well, yeah, I've seen Grease 8 times, but I realized the one thing I'm not good at is lyrics. Like, I know a melody. You could do a beat of something. I go, oh yeah, that's West Side Story, or this is this. But singing improperly, for like that Frankie Valli type singing through the nostrils, I don't know how to do that. And so when I did it in a run through that week, I popped a vocal cord.
What?
Because I started too high, and I've never done that. And the second it was done,
pop a vocal cord.
Did you really?
You can't pop a vocal cord.
Well, see, I don't know what I'm talking about, but there's something here in the midst of me doing it went, and I went, oh, that's gone.
So it was self-diagnosed popping a vocal cord.
Did you go to WebMD?
Here's how I'll put it. I didn't have a voice for 2 fucking days, so I'm sitting there going
like a guitar string.
I was like, how am I gonna do this though? But for real, I was so scared to sing this note again, and I thought to myself, I go, what is my life? I'm scared to sing Grease.
I was giving him the note. He was going, those summer, and
I said, you have to give me the note coming up the stairs.
And
he can do it.
I'm singing it under my breath. Night, and he goes, night.
No, it was even worse than that. When we did the dress rehearsal, it was like, to be honest, it was a fitting end to a terrible night because it was like, well, let's see if we can get out of it with this last number. And the way I sing it, as I'm singing it, I start laughing because it's so bad, and he starts laughing like that. The whole cast is like, because I was like, nah. But I'm on top of the stairs in a leather jacket like I'm Zuko. Yeah. Is that it? Zuko? Yes, Zuko, yeah. Danny Zuko. I'm up there and I was like, this is just fitting for this terrible run through.
But everyone went. We all started
crying laughing.
It was so
just
horrendous.
The worst night ever.
But it's good.
But then on tape night, I still ruined the end of that song, and you could see me laughing because I still couldn't hit the note.
I was gonna say, you did like a little laugh, and I kind of thought you did it on purpose.
No,
this is the way I'm gonna make this.
I legitimately tried so hard to do it, but I couldn't do it. And I popped a vocal.
Popped a vocal.
And
he popped a voke. That's what you call it.
I couldn't sing. I had a lump here for 3 days, and I said, what's that about? I heard
you need to see
that. Nah, I don't do doctors. I don't do fuck doctors.
David, you did like, you've done Broadway, or not Broadway, you've done musicals, you've done the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. So do you kind of like, love watching him squirm? I mean, when he's doing things,
he helps teach me. He teaches me. I go to him for anything that's like ever musical based, where I go, how do I do this, or what should I do here, or how do I know this?
Anything like, because there was an episode where he had to do, it says like Brent does West Side Story, and he was like, what's, and I was like, you've got to,
and it's like, and you just see me and him like after rehearsal, and he's like, Brent, it's easy, you gotta da 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 da, and I was like, yeah,
Brent, it's just a pop and a pa and a ba da da da,
and I'm like, yeah, I got it. And that's the same thing with the Grease song. He was like, Brent, it's easy. Ow.
Did you pop
I can't even do it now.
I don't know. Brent is so proud. He's like, yeah, I got it. I'm like, no, just listen. No, I got it. I got it.
I didn't have it. But I usually go to him anytime because Bill loves musicals. That's the big reason that musical elements are in our show. And
I think we should do a musical version.
I'm telling you right now that's going to happen because Bill does that. Because when I met Bill, from Connecticut like me, a brown-haired, blue-eyed guy who loves basketball and musicals, we had everything in common. Because my older brother did opera, and like we had all these like musical people living at our house, and so that was a big conversation. And we'd have that talk, but then he puts musical elements in the show, and he'll be like, "You know that part, right?" And I'm like, "No, I have no idea."
He's so like, you've got such a good voice, but like never learns the lyrics. Like,
I don't know lyrics. I don't know lyrics.
In the pilot,
I'm the worst at lyrics.
Girls just want to have fun.
Oh yeah.
Everyone knows every lyric to that song. Don't you love me, baby? Don't you love me, baby?
I don't know any lyrics, and the thing is like, because I have to sing all these like pop hits, it'd be like Taylor Swift or anything, or One Direction. I don't know any of their songs, so I have to go. The most of my day is spent trying to remember these lyrics because the dialogue is so friendly, and we get to be loose with it. And Bill and Adam are so open with us, like improvising and messing around and being open and treating it that way. That's different, so it's fine. I could be loose with that, but the lyrics I have to be precise about, and I don't know lyrics to any popular song. So I'll be like, "How's Roar go?" And I have to look at Roar, or like we do table reads. That's the worst. We get the script at the table read, and there'll be a song there, and it's gotten to the point that this season I did one song, and I was like, "Ba-da," and collectively everybody went no, just because they were like anticipating that I didn't know how to sing this particular song, because they were like, Brent doesn't know lyrics. That's become a thing now. That's my thing. It's like you gotta train Brent how to do this song.
Well, I don't think you should feel bad about not knowing the lyrics to One Direction songs. I don't think that that's quite
exactly. That's my argument.
Yeah.
But they come to me, they go, you know this song, right? And I go, of course I don't know that song. I am not a 15-year-old girl. I have no idea.
Roar is ridiculous, though. You need to step up to get your rep up.
I ended up doing lyrics. I learned Roar.
You sang it really well, though. It's quite high and stuff. And
well, the problem is that when I go on tour as a stand-up, everybody goes like, sing this. And I was like, I don't sing in my act. And it's just people being mad at me because I swear too much.
Well, everyone online loves you guys right now. We're getting some chatters that say that they really like it more now that it's live. Yeah. How do you guys feel about how the experience, has changed from it being live? Like, do you feel like it's better?
Yes.
The atmosphere in the room is just kind of brimming the whole day. You can feel it building through the week. And then on show night, it just feels like a party. And then we have an actual party on stage. Like
it seems like a party. That's why it's so fun.
Well, also, I think that there isn't a better cast to do this. And I mean that for the sake of... we have the mix of professionals and unprofessional people. For real, that it becomes like this kind of... This is the best element live because maybe we mess up, maybe we don't. If we do, it's charming because we'll find our way out of it. And it's not a better cast for it, right?
We're the most likely cast to mess up, but also I think we're the best cast to kind of get it back on track because of the comedians and because of whatever experience people have had.
And when we laugh, it feels like it's just friends laughing in the scene.
And Bill always says, if you crack up, just crack up because friends do that. It's weird if people are making fun of each other and other people don't laugh.
Yeah, it's one of Bill's biggest pet peeves is like when he watches a sitcom and somebody's saying a joke and nobody else laughs.
Yeah, and people do this.
Yeah.
Instead of actually laughing.
No, you should laugh because that's funny.
Exactly.
And so we do that, and a lot of times we just go, I'm going to try to make you laugh. I'll say it to Chris. I say it to Ron. I was like, I'm going to try to get you in this scene.
Do you guys ever have bets like that backstage? Like, I'm going to get you today. Like, I'm going to make you laugh on,
or I do embarrass it all the time.
you.
The first live one from last season.
Yeah.
I remember first you guys, the energy just on like social media, like it was completely obvious, but I remember that you guys were going back and forth like, I'm going to do this to this person, or dare me to do this to that person.
Well, there were lines that we didn't know were coming, and Brent got given a line to say to Chris, to make fun of Chris, and then Chris got given a line to come back.
And that's the writers. They do that. They've been doing it this year, too.
And they didn't know it was coming, so
they changed the line at the last minute, too, and like to the point that like I would say to Chris, I go, hey, this particular moment, we should do this. And he goes, I can't do that now. I go, why? He goes, Bill gave me a line I can't tell you here. And I was like, all right.
And moments
and then it's about Ron or something. But it's just to see how we react to it. Like last season, it was like, well, you gained weight since
we started shooting.
Yeah, about me. And that came from the writers. And I didn't know that was coming. And I'm on national television live for the first time. And I'm like...
then they gave you, you look like the ugly guy from Whitney.
I said, you look like the ugly guy from Whitney on the other one. And Chris was like, well, I've never seen that show. It was just about throwing us off. And that's the fun the writers have, is like doing that to all of us and finding things to like mess with each other. And that's part of the fun of the audience, too, is that you have that ability to enjoy it and also enjoy it in the same way that a show like this works. It's the social media element, the live element, the idea that you can interact with us. Like, we have Periscope going on during commercial breaks, so you can see
during a scene the other night, I had Periscope on from my POV. So Rick and Ron were in front of me, and I said, I'm going to be Periscoping in the scene. Because I was on my phone, I was doing a joke about something that's on the news. So I was holding my phone like that, and it was filming Rick and Ron in the scene, like live. So people really go for it, and I think...
Yeah,
I think it's a really good way.
More than just a live show. I think it's just almost an interactive show because we have this element too where we have a phone number that I gave out in the premiere this week, and like a lot of people, it's like the big battle has been like, is that real? Is it real? And I was like, yeah, it is real, and it's in the set.
Yeah, we've got the phone on set during the week.
It's also on the set during the show. So if I answer it, Chris answers it, or David answers it, or anybody, that's a real person calling us.
But it's not actually Chris's phone, right?
No, it's not his actual phone. It's Danny's phone.
What? Yes, it's Dan. I know.
It's Danny's number. And it's a 313 number. It's a Detroit number.
Sometimes on TV things are not real.
But this is live, so it has to be.
But
what is live is imagine you're sitting at home and you're watching a show and you said, I'm going to call that number. And you call that number and Chris or me or him picks it up as you're watching the show and goes, hello? And you're like, oh boy, hello? How crazy is that? How surreal is that?
What have people said?
Well, they're just freaked out that somebody's picking up while they're watching you pick it up.
Some people are like drunk or like they find it.
Has anyone ever cried?
Not cried. There was a guy that got a bit emotional the other day. He was like, I just want to say, like, you guys are like doing such amazing stuff, and like you're so inspirational. I just think you're all so great. And he was just kind of like sounded like he was on the verge of tears.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I've tried calling for like 7 hours now, and
it's crazy. The phone doesn't stop ringing, and it just goes to dressing room to dressing room. So it legitimately is on set.
And we'll send people will ask for pictures, and we'll send a selfie to people.
Yeah, we send texts.
There was a woman the other day. She was like, "Oh, my kids love Bridget Mendler," and I said, "Oh, cool. What's their names?" And I got their names, and I went to Bridget, and I said, "Just say hi to these two girls," and then you send it to these. And can you imagine being a little girl and Bridget Mendler's like your hero, and then you get a thing saying, "Hi, Emma," and it's like the little girl. You know, people love that kind of stuff.
For those of you out there watching, the number is 313-525-2014. Yeah, so write that down. Well, I take notes. I'm on top of it.
Have you tried to call yet, Joe?
I did. I called earlier.
Did you?
Yeah, I called earlier today.
I'm actually curious where it is on the weekends, though. We've always wanted that. Where is it?
It's usually at a writer's place. I think it's at Bill's.
Bill has it. Bill Lawrence usually has it.
Bill did not answer. I wanted to ask if they, give me an interesting question to ask David tonight. And
Bill will have the phone at his place. Last weekend he had it at his place, and he'll just drink tequila alone in his like fancy bar and pick up phones. And he's like, my wife got mad at me because I was talking to too many people on this phone. I was like, so just call it, and maybe Bill Lawrence picks up, and you can talk to him.
I really like the idea, and I didn't really notice it until hanging out with you guys today. But you guys are all just such good friends in real life. It seems, and you guys hang out outside of work.
Well, Brent passed out on my sofa on Friday night at 5 a.m. So
we had a great moment.
Nice. And then you guys go to Vegas together or go gambling together?
We will. If Rick Glassman is with me, that's the only way to go to Vegas.
We did a tour together this year where I got asked to go and fill in for Bill to host the tour. So I had to write like 5 or 10 minutes of stand-up.
Stand-up, yeah.
How was that?
It was petrifying because I'd go to these guys and stand-up's not a collaboration.
So mean.
It's not a collaboration. I'm like, can I just run a joke by you? They're like, no, you'd be good.
Yeah. Well, we also say things like this.
Just before I went on for my first show in Vegas, right? Vegas. Bearing in mind these guys start out open mics, 7 people. I've got 600 people at the Hard Rock Cafe.
In Vegas, his first show.
Chris and Ron both go, dude, just so you know, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
You're gonna die.
They were just trying to be nice. They were like, just so you know, like, you're gonna bomb, and it's gonna be really bad. But just know that now. And I was thinking in my head, I was like, he doesn't need to hear that. No. Just let him go out there.
But I went out and I did a solid 2.
Solid 2 minutes. He's supposed to do 10 minutes, and we're taping him, and he does 2 minutes. He does about 1:50, and he goes, all right, I think we'll get it started. Like Ron's first, he goes, what?
When you're out there, it feels like, because I was like, these guys are all in the bar and stuff, and I'm in my room.
I've never seen him nervous until this.
Practicing before, and I was like, okay, that's about 10 minutes. I thought it was about 10 minutes, and when you're out there, time is just totally
it just goes
different.
too fast.
But by the end of the tour, I think I was doing 10 minutes.
Well, by the time we got to Detroit, he was doing well, and I remember Chris and I were backstage, and he was doing, and also we were making fun of him because he was like, because he's British and he like reads, so he has all these like
he uses words.
He has all these political, what's going on in the world? Who cares to me? I like cartoons, but he doing these bits and using big words.
I was doing stuff about like gun control.
Gun control, doing things, and me and Chris are backstage, and we're like, oh, and then Chris is like, that's too big of a word, like we're just messing around. And then he starts getting big laughs, and Chris looks at me and goes, okay, all right.
Everyone calm down.
He goes, everybody calm down, we've been doing this longer, we need it. And then he gets a big laugh, and Chris goes, get him off. And
then I came off, and Chris goes, don't ever crush again.
Yeah, he's like, we earned this. And it was like, because he's just done like Shakespeare and a lot of live stuff and Sherlock and like
Doctor Who.
What I like to call real acting. He's done that. But I've never seen him nervous before, so it was so funny to see him this nervous. But by the time we got to Detroit, he's like, comes up stage, he's like, all right. who's next? And I go, it took me 10 years to get to this point.
Follow that,
like,
bitches.
This motherfucker is doing well already.
It was enough. It was enough of a taste of stand-up to know that I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't want to pursue it.
Yeah.
Why would you? You don't need to.
Yeah, you just do 10 minutes.
I like having a wife.
Yeah, you like having a wife and a life.
Yeah.
Well,
Slowly
speaking
ruining
of
my relationship.
stand-up, we've gotten some more comments that they really like how you guys are breaking the fourth wall, which is combining just like all of these different aspects together. Like, what is it about it that, is it live now? Is that the reason that it's like kind of okay to do that? Whereas when we watched last season and the season before, you know, you weren't really breaking the fourth wall or talking about who you are in life as an actor, with which you guys have done with like several of the cast members.
I think honestly, the big thing that Bill Lawrence said, and this is Bill Lawrence championing this entire thing, was a show called Rock. Was the last sitcom to do an all live season like us, you know, like 20 years plus ago. Yeah. And the big selling point of that show was a lot of them are Broadway actors, and their big selling point was, we're so trained you won't even know it's live. And Bill's idea was, what's the point then?
Let's get a bunch of amateurs.
Why not put you guys on live television and be aware of that? And it is because we're live that we can play with the camera or do something stupid or laugh or throw each other off. I mean, already in 2, episodes, really, well, 3, with the live hour and the half hour, we're already doing that. We're breaking, we're having fun, we're throwing each other off. The writers are trying to throw curveballs towards us. We're using the audience. We're playing with live bands. We're doing a lot of fun stuff because why not? I mean, honestly, multicam sitcoms today aren't sexy. There's nothing appealing about it now. So why not change it? I mean, you have a group of people that are legitimately funny and legitimately love each other and have known each other for a while, for real.
You're blowing my mind over here.
And legitimately utilize what we have. And what we have is this: the ability to fall on our face and get up, the ability to talk our asses off in the middle of no situation, for real, and to be able to work as a team to try to make something happen. And that's a luxury we have. And the reason we never broke the fourth wall when we were taped is because there was no reason to. Now we have a reason to.
Yeah, and it's kind of, I think it'd be jarring if we did it before. I think it would put people off, whereas now I think people are watching and they're like, what's going to happen, what's going to happen? I think if you look down the lens and you connect with people, I think it's a bit of it's kind of like a little peak.
And to be honest, and this is also to Bill's credit as well, it's finding the balance of what's an event and what's a show that you can live in this world, because you want to utilize a live crowd and be aware that this is a live show, but also be aware that these are characters and you want to be invested, because people want to be invested in this world and they want to vicariously live through whatever's going on. So how do you do that and also kind of work with that fourth wall and the idea of this is a live show? So to be honest, it's all of us are learning from it, and we're all like doing it on the fly and figuring it out. And
and there's still stuff. There's still stuff that Bill, like during the week, there's still stuff that Bill and Adam would be like, okay, this is on us. We kind of fucked up on these certain things, so we're going to change this. We're going to change this. We're still finding the format because there's not a blueprint for it.
There isn't.
There's the sketch shows. There's like SNL, which is a sketch show, and it's amazing, but it's not a through line. It's not character arcs. It's not a story.
Yeah.
So we're still kind of finding our feet, and week to week, hopefully, we're going to improve and get better and it's not just about spiking the lens and looking down the camera. We need to kind of maintain the story and the characters, and I think having someone like Bill, someone who's got such a strong track record with characters that people fall in love with, like Scrubs, I think he's got the perfect balance with it, I think.
Now, with that being said, like with the live format, is it kind of influencing ways that you different story arcs that you hope that your character can get into? Have you guys thought like, oh, now that it's live, it'd be really interesting if Justin could go through this, or if Brett could do this?
Well, there was the thing with Brent getting his chest waxed, and things like that. I think there's definitely gonna be stuff that is written for the purpose of the live show.
It's like the 40-year-old version, except that wasn't live, but still, you know what I'm talking about.
Same deal.
Yeah. I got my shoulders waxed one time, dude.
It actually didn't hurt at all.
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah.
Not at all. No, for real. It didn't hurt at all.
There was adrenaline there as well. So.
That's why.
drunk?
It had to be adrenaline. And the second one I was, and that's Ed Sheeran's fault.
Sinatra. So Sinatra.
Yeah.
Oh, the second one, that's
The
it.
second one I was a little drunk. I did 5 shots of tequila with Ed Sheeran before the
Fabulous.
second one. But
That's another thing, tune into the West Coast version and Brent might be drunk.
Yeah. Well, if you're a pop star, and I never knew I'd be intimidated by an acoustic artist, but I was, and want to do a shot, mate? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, I'm already 5 in. I was like, I'll do another one. And then so I got a little drunk for that one, but it never hurt, and I think it's got to be adrenaline because I was so nervous it was gonna hurt, but it didn't hurt. And then I never shaved my chest because the lady who was doing the wax was like, do you want me to even it out? I go, no. I said, just leave it. And she goes, why? She actually asked, why? I go, I don't know. It's kind of funny to me. I just have 2 strips. I had 2 strips until it evened out finally. It took so long for this to grow back to what it was, but it never really hurt. I did bleed though, and that's because Chris was doing it, but it didn't hurt.
Not great.
Ladies, do you guys have any questions or burning desires?
Nope.
I was going to ask if it hurt, and I'm still not sold on the fact that it didn't.
It didn't hurt, but I also like pain. I like pain.
I've had waxing done, and it hurts.
It hurts.
I think
It didn't hurt for me because I'm on national television. I'm getting waxed by a friend that I don't trust, and I'm thinking this is going to be the most painful thing ever. So I think my anticipation of the pain, stopped it from ever hurting, and it didn't hurt at all. And I was like, oh, okay, that doesn't hurt.
So you got very lucky.
I was very lucky. And then the second shot, I was just a little bit drunk, so I was like, all right, we're good.
It's a little.
Yeah.
Now, for each of you guys, question for each of you, what was your favorite moment or part of this episode, the Rock and a Hard Place walk into a bar? What was your favorite episode, or favorite moment of it?
For me, it would have to be the singing at the end because it was a week of David training me how to sing Grease, and I blew my voice out trying to sing it.
Pop the chord,
Yeah, I popped the old chord, and it was the only thing I thought about the entire week. I was like, I'm gonna nail this on the stairs, big closing moment, and I did the opposite immediately and started laughing immediately, and I could hear David laughing and I could hear Rick laughing, and I heard all my friends just laughing at me while I'm doing this. There's nothing worse than doing an ending show moment when what's coming out is the worst sound ever. So it kind of made me laugh so hard that I was like, shit, because in my head I was, what they don't know, I had the leather jacket on, and in my head I was going, come on, Brent, you got this, nail it, do it for your family. I had that moment, and I came out, I was like, I was like, oh boy, blew it. I immediately blew it, and I could hear them laughing as they came up trying to sing, and I was like, oh, this is on national television, and my hands up like this on stairs, and I'm like at the this is Jesus Christ Superstar, and it's worse. I'm sitting there oh boy, I just blew everything. Yeah. But what made me happy was I could hear Rick and you and Ron and everybody laughing coming up the stairs, and I was like, that's what this show is about. It's about a group of friends who are like, even when you fail, we're not gonna help you. That's so funny.
You're on your own, dude. Yeah, fuck you, man.
And he tried to help me so much. He tried to help me. He tried so much to the point that when he would come up the stairs before I started singing, he was like, nah.
I'd give him the note?
He would give me the note. As he's coming up, I said, please do it and show night. And he did it. And I was like, got it. And I was like, no.
Which is actually the right note that he's singing. Now he gets it.
You got it.
Oh, but I bombed so bad. My mom even said, what happened on that note? And I was like, come on, Mom, just let me have the failure. And my brother, who was a musical theater major, goes, way to go, Zuko. And I was like, all right, get it. I failed. But hearing them laugh as I'm like this, and I have a comb, I was like, this is what the show's about. It's about that failure, that fun. It's about even if we mess up, we're on national television. Who cares? Yeah. I mean, we do care too much. It actually really was destructive to me that entire night. But it actually hurt me mentally. And
you popped Vokes.
Oh, I popped a couple Vokes.
Yeah. What about you? My favorite moment, I've got 2. One was the dress rehearsal for that that moment was because it was so ridiculous. And the other one was when Chris and Bridget were having a fight. And he improvised. He was like, "Shut up, you demon!"
Yeah.
And because it's Bridget and she's so sweet and
she looks like an angel.
She looks like an angel. And a 34-year-old man who's 6'2",
35.
35. A 35-year-old man, 6'2", calling that little blonde girl a "Shut up, you demon!" I thought was so funny. And he improv that in the moment as well. There was a version, but we had to cut it down, where he was threatening to fight her, wasn't he? He was like,
"I'll hit you. I've hit a girl before." I was like, "Yo, Chris."
I think the network were like, "Yeah, we're not going to do it."
Well, me and Chris did that for the run through. I was like, that's getting cut, but that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I was like, "I fought a girl. I've done it before."
I fought a girl before.
It's like, of course, it's not sticking in this show. The fact that the writers even wrote that was the most ridiculous thing ever.
Oh, my double dick line. I enjoyed it on the night. There was a line that I can't remember what it was, wasn't working. Then they replaced it with something else.
How am I only the third gayest person here?
Yeah, and I read it the night before, and the line was. It was after these two do like a little shark fight thing, and I go, how is it that I had a penis in each hand last night, and yet I'm not the gayest person in this bar?
Yeah, and I thought he sent a screenshot of that script, and I thought he wrote that as a joke.
Yeah, when I read it, I was like, what the fuck?
The most trained actor on the show, it has to deliver that line.
I was like,
so to me, it was like, this is the funniest.
I thought there's no way the network are gonna let that go, and then I was really worried about it because I wasn't sure if it was gonna work. And then on show night was the first time I ever read it out loud, and it just went. It was like the biggest laugh I've got.
It was hilarious. It was by far one of the funniest lines of the episode. I loved
which is so crazy. Well, that's a testament to Bill, though.
Yeah.
Like, there's certain moments where you go, "You're an idiot, Bill."
All right, I'll do it, Bill, and then you do it,
and then
it's
you do it, and you go, "Oh yeah, that's why," because he's been doing this since he was 26, and he's so good at this.
Now I know you guys are trying to get The Rock to come on and guest on Twitter.
That's a lot of Ron and Rick. Ron and Rick are really forcing the shit out of that.
What would your ideal special guest drop-in be?
My ideal special
both
guest drop-in would be I would like Russell Crowe to play either Chris's dad or his brother.
He's blocked me on Twitter, by the way.
Oh.
What?
Russell Crowe blocked me.
Well, he seems like such a nice guy. It's really shocking.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
How'd that happen?
Because he went through. I don't know if he does it anymore because I can't read his tweets. But he lists every time he does a workout. He lists exactly what he's done. So he's like 20 push-ups, 20 miles on the bike, fucking 200-pound barbell. And so I tweeted him and I was like, 25 push-ups, 300 weight on the barbell. Eat that, Crow. So I just do everything a little bit better. Not saying like Russell Crowe, you're a cunt or anything, but like he blocked me because I was making fun of his workout tweets.
Wow.
And that's it. Oh. And now I can't read them.
Well, now I really want him on the show because I want that to be a discussion. With his character. It's like, why'd you block me, Russell? I want that. That'd be fun.
You continuously just one-upping him the entire episode.
I want Liam Neeson on the show to either play Chris's dad. I'm just thinking about Chris's dad. Somebody that's so intimidating that comes in and is like, hey.
Neeson would be great. I'd like Ricky Gervais or the Muppets.
Oh, the Muppets. Yeah,
awesome. Well, you worked with Ricky on Life's Too Short.
Yeah, I love my favorite episode of Life's Too Short was his episode.
Yeah.
Why not wearing the costume?
He's my fucking absolute comedy hero.
It's top 3 for me.
For me, the British Office. I don't think comedy can get much better than that.
This is my favorite, probably my favorite show too.
And so when I worked with him, I was just kind of completely in awe, and he was such a nice guy. And
that's gonna be so crazy, by the way.
Like both of them, they were both directing.
Were you nervous?
I was, but then he's so kind of amiable that you lose that kind of nerves within 10 minutes. But then you get on set and the work begins, and you're like, that's why he's a genius. And he gave me a bit of direction. He said, oh, so this happens in this. So Warwick Davis comes in and ruins my wedding with a terrible speech. That's the whole thing. So he does this speech, and then Ricky said, like, I know him, Ricky Gervais says to me, when he finishes the speech, look down the lens, like we did in The Office. And I was like, yeah, I know what he did in The Office.
Yeah.
So then I look down the lens after the speech, and I just hear from the monitors, that Ricky Gervais laugh, and I was like, that's my career made forever.
Yeah.
That's for me, like
season 1 was because I've seen that show and I love anything Ricky does, and it was my favorite episode of that series. and we were
Liam
talking.
Neeson's in that episode.
He is in that
That's such
episode.
a good
That's
bit.
one of the greatest bits, sketches.
good.
One of the best sketches I've ever seen. And I asked you, I goes, what was it like? And I said, did he laugh? Because he always laughs. And then you told me about that. And you hear that, it's like it's got to be the greatest feeling ever.
Yeah, it's amazing. And they finish at 4 o'clock every day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is crazy for somebody who breaks as much as he does.
Yeah.
You know?
They do 9 till 4, and they're just like, yeah, we're done.
And we're done.
That's beautiful.
Jeez. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's really cool. That's exciting, man.
Yeah.
That'd be what?
That'd be funny. He would do it.
Maybe. I think we should ask him.
Yes.
I'll look into this.
Yeah.
Hey, do it.
Hey, yo, Ricky.
Tweeted at him after the show.
Yeah, I will.
Tell
Yeah.
him.
We'll get him. I want
get
Bill
him.
Murray,
Get
too.
him.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray would be
amazing.
great.
We had
That'd
that
be
idea last
incredible.
year, didn't we? What
I
was
have
our
the
Bill
number.
Murray
We got to
idea?
do it.
So Bill Murray has got this thing where he doesn't audition for stuff. People call this.
He doesn't have an
1-800
agent, so he has a 1-800 number that you call, leave a message.
and you pitch your
Right.
movie, and then he gets his lawyer to call you back if he's interested.
Yeah, and it took me 2 months. I tracked down his number, and I have it now.
So I think
What?
we should.
But I don't want to do it unless we're shooting it because I think it'd be a funny YouTube thing for us to like.
I think we should
cast
keep-
Undateable trying to get Bill Murray
all
on
of
the
us
show.
keep pitching, and then
Absolutely.
eventually we're like,
Yeah.
"Fucking answer the phone, fucking Bill."
The fact that I got it though, and I have that in my phone, it says Bill Murray, is I win.
I'm like so
It took me
jealous
like
of you
2
now.
months.
It's
Yeah.
stupid.
I got it. I got the number. Yes.
Now, do you guys? What's next for you guys? The rest of the season. But do you guys have anything else coming down the pipe?
I have my first hour special coming out on Netflix on December 1st.
Congratulations.
I shot in New York this summer.
That's
I was on tour for it, and I can't be more excited for it. We just finished editing it, and I'm amped for it. I'm actually the most nervous for that, to be honest with you, out of anything. And then I did a movie called How to Be Single that's coming out. I don't know when the fuck that's coming out. But I'm only in like 2 scenes of it, but I play kind of a degenerate dirtbag. But
You get to shoot a gun though, don't you?
what?
Did you have a gun?
No, that's another. I did another thing called Crunch Time, which is this. I work with these people, this guy Andrew Disney and Bradley Jackson, and they're like these Austin filmmakers, like very hungry, amazing people to work with. And I went and did it, and only because I thought that they were just so hungry and great. And Rooster Teeth is putting it out. You know, and I think it's going to be on the web. You know, it's an internet
web.
show. The web.
It's going to be on the
interwebs.
webinet.
But it's a crazy, weird sci-fi thing, and I get to play like a detective and shoot a gun and have a beard and be not Justin. So that was fun too. So, but that's what I have coming.
That's
Yay.
awesome.
I shot a movie last summer called Married Young, and it's my first lead in a movie.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, you know, God bless the Seth Rogans and Jack Blacks of the world making chubby fat guys popular again, leading movies.
Yes.
And it's got a great cast. Gary Cole's in it. Vanessa Lenges is in it. It's got, some really cool actors in it. Who actually, Gary Cole, I was kind of in awe of. I was a bit starstruck by him. Do you know him from Veep?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, of
he's
course.
he's Office Space. And
Yep.
Yeah, so that's coming out. I don't know
Great
when that's coming
hairline.
out. Great hairline. In the next couple of months, I believe.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah, watch this space.
Do you have any desire to go back to directing? I know you won an award at the Edinburgh Festival.
Jesus, you must have dug that out. Yeah,
I did. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, I was excited. I'm excited. I was excited to have you on the show.
I did win an award
I
in
didn't-
Edinburgh. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. I did this thing in London called the Sitcom Mission, where there was kind of staged productions of sitcom scripts, and we did. We won this competition, so we decided to take an hour-long version up to Edinburgh. And we did it last minute, but we kind of sold out every day, and yeah, I won an award for directing. Yeah, that was cool. I completely forgot about that actually. Yeah.
That's good. You want to do go again?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I kind of definitely aspire to direct in the future for sure. And I've been actually shadowing Phil Lewis on. I went
He's
on
the director of our show.
He directs our show, but when he was doing Ground Floor, Bill's other show, I kind of shadowed him for a couple of weeks, just to kind of learn the format. Yeah, it's definitely.
Would you be? Well, I don't even know if it's possible since it's live. But would you be able to, or even aspirations to direct an episode of Undateable?
I mean, if it wasn't live, I'd say yeah, but I think it would be tricky directing these guys.
We're impossible.
Yeah, just to get them
Especially
to
me, Chris,
just to get
Ron,
them
and Rick.
to get them to put their phones down for 5 minutes. Not Brent. Brent's not guilty of that, but
I'm actually good at that.
Yeah.
Which is shocking.
yeah. But yeah, no, I'd love to direct for sure.
That's cool.
Be the worst people to direct.
Yeah, there's a couple of shorts online as well that I kind of directed as well.
Yeah.
So where can we find them?
They're on YouTube. One's called Amazing People Living with a Handlebar. And the other one I didn't direct, but it's all improv. It's called Amazing People, The Man with the Wobbly Hand.
Yeah, that's
which
one of my
won
favorites,
awards as well.
That's so funny.
It won awards, and then I was on the news, I think, in San Diego promoting this. And the guy was like, "Hey, how about the wobbly jelly guy?" I was like, "What?"
Wow.
Like, the jelly hand guy. I was like, "I'm sorry." Live on air, I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." So then he had to pull it up, and he's showing this like little short film that I did years ago, and I sent it to the guy I made it with. I was like, "We just made the news in San Diego." That was awesome. Cool.
So what's can you give us an inside scoop on what's next on Undateable Live, or is that kind of
we only know week to week. We only know one episode ahead. We don't know what's kind of coming.
We don't know story wise. I can definitely say that every week we're gonna have a musical guest, and there's gonna be some really fun guests coming up, and we're gonna have a lot of people, a lot of celebrity types are loving what's happening with it, and they think it's so fun that I wouldn't be surprised. Hopefully we get The Rock, but there's going to be a lot of people that are going to come in and end up in the bar for no reason, and there's going to be a lot of mayhem, but there's also going to be a lot of story and heart and moments that Bill's so good at doing.
Ticking all the boxes in this answer, are you?
Huh?
Ticking all the boxes. Story, heart, celebs,
yeah, I know
character.
You said ticking all the boxes?
It's riveting.
That means something else, I think.
Ticking all the boxes.
But do you think there's any celebrities that are going to be contacting Undateable, being like, "Hey, I want to be on this. Like, why haven't you guys asked me?"
I would hope so. Regardless if they are, we will be. Mm-hmm. And the cast will do it. We have no shame, and we have no ego. So I'm ready to contact. You give me a number to anybody you know and that I like, I'm calling them.
Us too. Like, we will track them down for you. Yeah. We will do it for you.
Please.
Yes, absolutely.
Please.
Mark
Paul Gosselaar. Contacts.
Go do their show.
I was just going to say.
He was just on our show.
It would be great to get him and
Tone.
Antone, but the other guy from Saved by the Bell.
Slater?
AC Slater, yeah.
Mario Lopez.
Yeah, Mario over there.
I don't want Mario on the show.
Like, no Mario.
I don't like it because he hasn't aged.
He's a vampire.
It kind of bothers me so much that he's so fit still.
Mario has to be on the show.
Fine. Fine.
I bet Maria knows Mario.
Have you seen him in the flesh? Has anyone seen him in the flesh?
I have. I met him in the flesh. He looks amazing.
He's beautiful.
And it bothers me.
He's been preserved
and
since
Mark is so nice too. So it's like it's two extremely nice people that have aged well, and it really makes me sad.
Mario caught me off guard because I work at Universal, and then he was there off like his trailer when he films Extra, and we were on the same escalator, and dude was small. I mean, like he's yoked for a small guy, but
he's
short.
Yeah, short, like slender. I mean, he's so slender. I don't know why I use that word to describe him.
Making him like a piece of meat over here.
Well, I mean, come on.
That's how you know you're attractive as a man when other men describe you physically.
You got to give credit where credit's due.
He was very slender.
And who knows? There's people doing it when you guys are tweeting out photos of you guys working out.
Thank you.
You know,
that's a good picture. You were in that one. It's a good picture, isn't it?
It was.
I was there earlier though.
I saw that and I was like, I don't know if the lights hit my arms.
You look monstrous. Like you were hulking out like in that photo. I remember that. I'm like, I didn't look that.
It's a trick of the light, but Rick is genuinely jacked.
Yeah,
like sometimes you wouldn't think to look at him, but if you see his arms and stuff, he's.
But he's annoying because he's like, I'm so little. No, you're not, dude. You got veins I would die for.
Yeah, I can't even see my veins, man.
Are you kidding, dude? You don't think I? Well, all right. There's nothing there.
You're same as me, Irish. No veins.
So pale and veinless.
Yeah.
Our good friend Joseph Boza, I hope I pronounced that right, Joseph, he loves the show and comments a lot. He thinks that Danny and Brent will faint and piss if Mario stops by the show.
Faint and piss?
Faint and piss.
That's a lot of...
I won't do that. What I would do is I'd be like, let's wrestle! And I would try to wrestle. That's what would happen. I wouldn't piss myself. I might faint, but that would be for other issues. If Liam Neeson's on the show, I might faint.
You might break another vogue.
Yeah, I know. Another vocal cord might shatter.
This is catching on.
I broke a vote.
Hashtag broke a vote.
I feel like you guys need to do like a PSA, you know, like at the end, like Saved by the Bell.
Hi. I know what you're thinking. maybe I'll yell. Maybe you shouldn't. I'm Brent Morin, and I broke a Vogue. Hashtag broke a Vogue underneath.
Pop to Vogue.
I think, yeah, it was Pop to Vogue.
Pop to Vogue.
We changed it.
Pop to Vogue.
Cut. Let's go again.
Back to one. Let's do
Interrupt
that.
me, producer.
Check the gate.
So you're thinking about yelling at your spouse?
Broadcast Network.
Why is there something in my ear?
Well, we were gonna restart back to 1.
Oh, presented by Aquaman. This is Joe Doyle.
A joke from the techies, huh?
Yeah.
Love it.
Don't call them techies.
Love a techie joke.
It's a good rim shot.
I like those. Perfect. Do you ever wish you had rim shots during your stand-up shows? Or are you like, no?
No, because I don't tell jokes. I'm not good at jokes, so I can't do that. I'm a storyteller, so I'm not good at like, well, the doctor went out to the office and said, where's my stethoscope? Or whatever. See? It works that way.
Yeah, you did. You just never tried. That was perfect.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, I went to a bar mitzvah. Where's the yarmulke? That actually is offensive to everybody that's Jewish. That sound. That just sounds like it's scary to go to a bar mitzvah.
You always do Jewish improv. When we did a thing with Chris Hardwick for Nerdist, and you did, what was it, the Hanukkah chipmunk?
That wasn't my fault, though. It was
the Passover chipmunk. And then Brent improvised this Jewish chipmunk singing a song about Passover.
I thought Passover was about a Jewish chipmunk. Don't give me that little noise.
Always give him that. That's awesome.
That's fantastic.
Are you guys jealous at all that Ron is the reigning Midnight Champion?
Nah, I don't give a shit about that. It's a stupid show.
Because he lost. I've never done it, but I'm putting this on.
Yeah, I lose on purpose. Why do I need to win that? What am I, a dork?
Yeah.
I love Chris. It's a great show. It's fun. I've gotten more followers from that than anything I've done in my life, which is sad. But winning on that show, no, that means that I have to put in an effort to write topical bits that I'm not going to do. But I like to do little
I don't
stories
watch
and stuff.
news.
Yeah, I'm not a news guy.
AfterBuzz TV News.
With
I mean,
Brent
you guys
Morin.
have way too much fun. How much of this is just like a fist fight in the booth right now? And they're just hitting all the right
pressing
buttons
the
at the right time?
Well, yeah, that brings us to our AfterBuzz TV news segment that we have.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yes.
Anyone have any news?
Nope.
All right, that was your AfterBuzz TV news segment. We'll just.
What if news
Nailed
was
it.
like that? Anybody got anything else? No?
Well, I feel like we were talking about the news, like Netflix.
weather.
Does anybody have any gossip?
Nope.
I have a question.
Oh, I thought he was. I thought he was playing the gossip.
You have
Question.
gossip?
No, I don't.
Okay, when did you guys figure out that you were going to become such a family? Like, first day of set, when you guys were all together, did you know instantly? Like,
Honestly,
how long did it take?
I can only personally. David would answer this better, but I could say only because Rick and I live next door to each other, have for like 5-6 years, and that was on purpose in the same apartment complex. When he was a waiter, I was a PA. And we carpooled to the test for the show, booked the show together. We still carpool.
Wow.
Chris, I've known Chris since I was 18. He's my first friend in comedy. And we used to play bowling alleys and hostels together. So I already had a family element with them.
Right.
Ron was just somebody you like immediately. And then David came in as an actual actor. And David, my first experience with David where I laughed so hard was we did reshoots for the pilot. And he was American at first. And because he could do a really good American accent. And the first scene he does, we're sitting at the table on the set, and he's supposed to say massage. And he was perfect with the American accent, but for some reason he goes, massage, or whatever.
I just said it in the British way.
It's such a British way. And they go, cut! And he immediately does the most British shit I've ever heard in my entire life. And this is where I immediately start crying laughing. Because he's so nervous, because everybody is, because people are getting fired left and right before the show's even getting started. And he immediately does the most British reaction I've ever seen. He starts kind of fiddling around with the table, and he does this. He goes, oh dear. And I lost it. I started laughing. And I was like, that's so funny. I was like, that's so British. What
It's so weird, isn't it, that I was going to be American on the show?
Yeah, and then finally
So
they were just
crazy.
like, let him be British. And so then he was, which was perfect and is so good. And I think honestly, for most of us, we knew each other already. It kind of felt like for like Bianca and David, and not Ron as much because he's a comedian as well, but I feel like the other actresses and actors, it felt like we had a clubhouse and they were trying to come in. But we were very open to it because they're all so funny. Like
it took a while for me to not because they weren't welcoming, but to relax.
Yeah.
Because of the work as well, because they're all so quick. I was like, I'd think of something to say, and then by the time I'd go to say it, Chris or Brent would have said something quicker and funnier. Right. So it kind of took a while to just kind of catch up to their rhythm because it's just bam, 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 bam all day long. Like,
and we don't stop. Like especially Chris and I, it's like you could just. There doesn't have to be anybody there. It really is just like we just go off, and if you say one thing. Like when we were on tour, like Harlan, our fucking tour manager, said, I'm gonna get coffee at 6 in the morning after we did press. It was like 7 a.m. We were going up to a hotel, and that turned into him being a serial killer who eats shoes. Because all he said was, I'm gonna get another cup of coffee. And it's like, so you end up walking on eggshells and being like, oh man, if what I wear, am I gonna make fun of for this? Is this gonna happen? If Phil says something that's stupid, our director, or like we did our first table read of the season, Bill Lawrence is like, it's like, and if you have anything that he wanted to say, answering any questions, we said answering any questions. Chris immediately goes, answering? What's answering? We said answering. And he goes, answering. Oh, because you said answering, so I just want to know what the fuck is answering. That's not a word. That's not a word. It's not a word. Is it, Bill? Bill, is that a word? Answering? And he's like, God damn it. And he's like, this is the first meeting we're having together. Like, we're actually really mean and terrible to each other.
They are, but
we love each other.
But it took me like about 3 weeks to like really just go for it and like make a joke. I was like, today's the day you're gonna make a joke with these guys.
But the thing is, like, he's so funny and so good too. That
I was so nervous, and I said something. We're on the set, and I said something about the set. I was like, oh, this looks like and then Chris just goes, the most fucking British thing I've ever heard. The most fucking British thing. And I was like, fuck. So that just set me back a month. I'm not going to say anything ever again.
But then Chris is like, I always say, I compare Chris to, I go, you know what you are? You're a dad who never says I love you. When you say I love you, I want to cry. You know? Because it's like, you don't know if he actually likes you until there's a moment. But then he said recently, he goes, to him, he goes, I'm so fucking happy you're on this show, dude. Imagine if we had somebody who sucked. And he's saying that to me. He goes, what if he just sucked? And I was like, that was so genuine. Because he was like, Chris and funny and fun.
Chris and I have bonded over potty humor.
Yeah.
Because people just say poopy and it makes me laugh.
Oh, yeah.
What's so interesting, because he's like the most classically trained actor, and what's so funny to Chris and I is that, because Chris's humor is so dumb, he'll do the dumbest things, and we just, and I go, look at David, and David's crying.
It's so funny from him, though, because he's 35, and he's like big, and it's just like, you see a grown man going,
yeah. And I'll say to him, I go, you're 35. He goes, it's funnier when you're older. It's funnier when you're older, dude. I can't wait till I'm 50. I'm doing the same shit, dude. And he's like this big kid. And then by the time we shoot, he's like, dude, I'm so tired. I was like, yeah, dude, because you've been running around doing bits all day. Like he does high kicks for Instagram and stuff, and then he's just drained.
He does this joke, and it never stops. He does it every day. He gets his wallet, and he pretends to be an FBI agent making his first bust.
So he pulls his wallet open every time.
FBI fucking I!
Yeah, he'll go, FBI fucking I! I've been telling you guys for years. I decided to do comedy to infiltrate you guys. And I'll be like, Chris, who's getting arrested? I don't like any of you. And I was like, why would you do this? You have a career. He's like, because I did this for the FBI fucking I. And it's like, you're 35. Fucking yeah, I'm 35. I don't even like comedy. I'm not even a funny guy.
I'm undercover.
Yeah. I was like, well, you're doing so well in your career. Yeah, I didn't plan on that. I'm in too deep, but you're under arrest. You're under arrest, boom guy. We know what you're doing. And I was like, Chris, it's like fucking 10 in the morning. Why are you doing this?
Oh, man. Well, guys, I think we should just end on that act out.
Yeah.
That was great. Yeah, we ran out of time. Thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you for having us.
For everyone out there, like us on YouTube. Go subscribe to us on iTunes. Follow them on Twitter. Interact with the show. We'd love to have you guys back anytime.
Yeah.
We're really looking forward forward to coming to see one of the live tapings. Chris invited us out to hang in the social media room, so
cool.
We're going to be there.
That's a cool room.
Fun.
Yeah.
It's a bars.
In that case.
Free booze, free food.
Yes.
Best way to start a Friday.
But yeah, thanks for coming out, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Anytime, we'll let you guys know. Thank you guys for watching AfterBuzzTV.com's Undateable Live After Show. My name's Joe Doyle. You can find me at JoJo Doyle on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's all synergy. Ladies, tell us where we can find you.
I'm Sam Davidson. You can find me online at samdavidsonentertainment.com or on Twitter and Instagram at samd43.
And I'm Hannah Pritchard. You all can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at @TheHotShotDude.
I'm Fiona Zaring. You can follow me on everything at Fiona Zaring.
Guys, thanks again. David Fynn, Brent Morin.
You liked the name, didn't you?
I know. I just figured out I know you.
You do?
You know Eleanor Lawrence from the Groundlings, don't you?
I do!
Got it!
Thanks again, guys. Have a great night. We'll see you next time on AfterBuzzTV.com.
Sorry for that little
Better
thing.
be that.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.